Hey beauties, it's Jamie Joe
and Jessie Massoud,
and welcome to Skinfluence,
a podcast dedicated to beauty, fashion and self-love,
turning your weakness into your uniqueness. Before we get started, we'd like to acknowledge the custodians of the land on which we record, the Gadigal People of the Eora Nation.
In today's episode, we are looking at under eyes.
Now, this is a topic for me that hits home because I've struggled my entire life with being insecure around my under eyes, so I'm excited to just dive into it.
Did you get enough sleep today? You're looking a little bit tired.
Literally my entire life, through my childhood, through high school, I would have teachers ask me if I'm okay because I have deep set, dark under eyes. It's hereditary. This is what I look like.
It's also like the worst thing to hear when you're like completely fine and someone asks, are you okay?
Sick?
You're like,
leave me alone.
That's my face.
Yeah, so I've been through the works in terms of, figuring out for myself what works for deep set, dark under eyes. And I definitely have come to like a place where I'm happy with my makeup routine.
Yeah.
In terms of skincare, there's things we can do, but, when it's hereditary,
there's only so far you can go
to get rid of that colour, the discoloration.
Like, that's just the shape of your face.
It is. This is like my skull. Like, that's just what my bone structure is.
Completely okay. You're gorgeous, so.
Thanks, Jess. Yeah, so I guess in terms of, let's talk a little bit about, like, confidence first. Because, I had so many comments growing up that made me so insecure about the way that I looked and the way that my under eyes were. But I do have to say, Western features are so different. To ethnic features, especially Middle Eastern features and South Asian features. So it's very normal in Lebanon, and people are used to seeing women with, pigmentation around their eyes. And it's actually quite beautiful and really enhances a lot of people's features, in my opinion. Especially, I think it looks beautiful, like when South Asian women have that discoloration. It's just part of their
natural
culture.
eyeshadow.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess in terms of what types of problematic under eyes there are, let's just go through them. So we've got creasy under eyes. So like maybe you have a lot of fine lines underneath your eyes, or they're very dry.
Yeah, dry under eyes, like pigmentation, like colours.
Discoloration. Deep set under eyes, which is what I've got. So like that's when you kind of have that hollow underneath your eyes and it comes from your nose outwards, and it's just literally your face shape, your face structure.
And sometimes it's puffiness, like when you wake up in the morning, you've got like puffy eyes.
Yeah, so there's a whole range of kind of different insecurities you could have and problems.
I feel like everyone at least has dealt with one before.
Definitely. And I think, well, let's just talk about what not to do first. Let's get that out of the way because I've made some funny mistakes that make it look so much worse. So if you have pigmentation, you really need to stay away from using any sort of light concealer. There are so many trends from big beauty gurus and influencers with perfect, beautiful, smooth under eyes where they're using like these really light colors to create that beautiful highlighted full glam look. Yep. This does not look good every day, especially if you have discoloration, because what it does is it actually is very ashy. It makes your under eyes look grey or purple, and it
just brings out the wrong colors.
It does, and it makes you look even more sick than you already are. So I really would urge you to stay away from
super light
thinking that that's going to be the solution. It's really not. It just creates more, just like the wrong tone.
Yeah, trying to add a Band-Aid layer on top that's not fixing the solution and makes it look worse.
That's so true. So I guess in terms of makeup products, there are definitely a few things you can do, and color correcting and color theory is definitely a big part of that, in my opinion, because once you kind of understand what type of tone, if your main problem is pigmentation. If your main problem is pigmentation, you kind of have to understand what type of tone
you have.
Exactly. Is it purple? Is it red? Is it blue?
And then that's going to counteract in what type of color corrector you're using.
That's exactly right. So for me, I kind of have more, what would you say? It's like more bluish.
Yeah.
I definitely have more a purpley blue kind of tone underneath my eyes. And in summer, it kind of really disappears because I do get quite tan, but I really notice it most in winter. It's like you wake up and this is what I call my under eyes.
Oh, gosh. The depths of despair.
The depths of despair. Like I literally call them that. Because when I wake up, I'm like, oh my goodness, I look ill. Like, I look unwell under there.
I hate the negative talk as well. I'm like, Jamie, shut up.
She really
like,
does.
Actually shut up. Like, your skin's like baby smooth. Like, I'd kill to have your skin. Like,
So true. I mean, I guess that's just, one of those things for myself that I'm continuing to grow through, but I definitely struggle
She's
to
come
leave.
a long way.
I do, but I do struggle to leave the house without concealer.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Okay, so this is what I would do in terms of color correcting. There are a few really great ones on the market, but I would say you want to stay away from anything too thick, and that plays into if you have textured under eyes. Again, you think that using these thick products that are really full coverage are going to kind of combat the issue. It's not going to do that. All it's going to do
enhance it.
It does. It enhances
makes it cakey.
It makes it look even more crepey.
It settles into the fine lines and becomes crusty.
Yeah, so you want to kind of use products that are thin and they're lightweight and
yet effective.
Exactly, yet effective. So let's kind of talk about color and what I have figured out really, really works well for me. I feel like Jessie herself, you don't really have this issue as much.
Yeah. I just follow suit in what Jamie does. She's like, this works for me. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you have as deep set eyes as me.
But they're still there.
It's still there, depending on where you are at in the uni semester. Yeah, so I have kind of two go-to under eye brighteners that I use for different occasions. On an everyday basis, I love the Rare Beauty Positive Light Eye Brightener. This is such a good product because it's very, very lightweight and it's beautifully reflective. So it's very thin, yet it adds a lot of light to that deep set area. And I actually don't put this directly tight underneath my eyes. I like to focus it underneath the deep set area because it kind of brings it forward and it draws the attention to that place a little bit more.
Exactly. Like the placement's super important.
Yeah, placement
And do you use this before concealer?
Well, no. I actually use this after concealer, but I just wanted to preface like the two different categories. So we've got correctors and then we've got correctors/brighteners and then we've got concealers.
Oh,
so,
I've been using this before.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I don't think that the order matters as much, but I do think that this product by itself is even really beautiful for a no makeup day. But what I wanted to say is if you have puffy under eyes, this is great because the wand applicator is actually metal and it's a metal ball. So when you are dragging that kind of underneath the eye.
The cooling
it has this,
effect.
Beautiful cooling effect, and it's got that depuffing element to it as well.
Yeah, like it's made for that reason, which is great.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of kind of concealers on the market that do that. I would say they've got eye creams. There's eye creams that have got that metal applicator.
And it feels so good in the morning.
Beautiful. Yeah. One of them is the Lancome Genifique Eye Serum.
So good.
Oh, that is such a beautiful product. I love that.
Lancome.
Yeah, I love that to kind of prime and prep the under eyes. But for a brightener, the Rare Beauty one is so beautiful. And I wouldn't say it's overly expensive. Yeah. I've been using this for since almost December last year.
Yeah.
It is $46 from Mecca. And it's beautiful. I use this every day. This is kind of one of those concealing products for under the eyes that I almost do not leave the house without.
That's almost drugstore price.
Yeah, well,
do you know what I mean?
Exactly. When you're looking at the prices these days, it's really good. It's such a beautiful product. So that's kind of one that you can use to enhance and add some light underneath the eyes, and that gives that depuffing element to it as well. Do you know anything about this Smashbox Becca Under Eye Brightener?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Okay, well, I love this product. So if you don't know, Becca was a beautiful brand that kind of hit the market in around 2015 and was really, really popular. But unfortunately, they did kind of close down just because, I don't know.
Wait, in Australia they closed down?
No, just everywhere.
Smashbox?
No, Becca.
Oh, yeah, I remember Becca.
Yeah, Becca. Well, they were a massive brand and they had some really iconic products, but they actually...
I just remember them being like highlighters.
Yeah,
I remember
the highlighters. Yeah. So what they did was they actually shut down their brand. However, they kept two iconic products and Smashbox picked them up. Beautiful. So that they're called Smashbox times Becca because they were just so iconic that people literally cannot live without them.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so Smashbox all did us a favor by,
thank you.
Yeah, literally, thank you so much. So this Becca Under Eye Brightener and Corrector is a beautiful color corrector.
Is this in a pot?
Yeah, it's a little pot cream formula. So unlike Rare Beauty, that's a liquid formula. This is a cream and they've got a few different shades. They've got light, medium and dark. So that is going to be, you picking the right shade for your skin tone and for
the under eye
for the
section.
pigment under the eye. eye. I really like the medium color, which is more of a peach. And this is so great at...
Because that counteracts the purple.
That's right. It really corrects, and, the color theory kind of cancel each other out.
There you go.
Yeah. So what I suggest with this product, because it is thicker and it's a cream on the cream, like it's on the thicker side, you want to use a very light hand. You don't want to over apply this product, because that's when that crepiness and thickness and creasing is going to happen. All you need to do is just with your ring finger is just really dab a small amount all the way underneath the eye on those problematic areas.
Before or after concealer?
Before. Mm-hmm. So you've primed the face. You haven't put any foundation underneath your eyes. You've put your eye cream on, and now you're going to tap in that color corrector to cancel out the pigment. You're not adding necessarily coverage. You're adding just
pigment.
Just that element of color correction.
And then you go in with your concealer, and it should be like, bang,
great, exactly.
Cancelled out.
That's correct. So when I like to use this is for special events, red carpets, when I know I'm going to be photographed. This is a really, really great product, but I don't use this every day at all. It's not something I use like the Rare Beauty product. So this is for special occasions, photo shoots, like when you really want like full glam.
Yeah.
It's
$55 from Mecca.
This lasts forever though.
Because you're only using a really small amount.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's just something that's like a really great staple in your kit. If you have problematic under eyes, I really highly recommend it.
I just want to pick up on a note where you said like eye cream, then this.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes where you might be going wrong with your concealer routine is the product you're putting on before your makeup might be causing your concealer or your correcting thing to sort of ball off.
Yeah.
So if you're experiencing like balling off or flaking off with your concealer, or it's just not sitting right, maybe try switching up your under eye cream
to something thinner.
Yeah, to something thinner, or even don't put anything on before your makeup at all under the eyes, because I find that it just like slides right off for me.
I would say that kind of plays into that like thickness under the eyes, because when I go on photo shoots, makeup artists really struggle to do my under eyes, and they think that more product is going to help, but it makes it look so much worse.
Cakey.
So they'll put a serum under my eyes, and they'll put a really nice, thick, luxurious moisturizer under my eyes. Then they'll color correct. Then they'll add concealer. Then they'll powder. And this causes so much caking, slipping, sliding, and it does not look good. So that's what I was saying before. Like, you want to be sparing with the amount of products you're using. It's going to have such a better effect than really caking everything on. This is, although it seems good in theory, it just really does the opposite. So instead, use small amounts of the right product to kind of achieve the look that you're going for.
Yeah, exactly. Now, let's go into concealers.
Okay.
So me and Jamie have tried so many different concealers, and I have been a fan favorite of the Maybelline Fit Me since I was 14 years old. I've used it for so long. It's affordable. It's $16, and this product is just reliable, and it's really great for... If you don't know where to start with concealer, this is a great product to start with. It's lightweight, but full coverage. Yep. And it's really buildable as well. And they have a really, really great shade range. Because this product is affordable, you're able to use it every single day. And it's really good for school, for uni. And if you don't want a full-on makeup look and you just want light coverage in the no makeup look, which I love to achieve most days without wearing foundation, this one blends seamlessly into your normal skin as well, which is really beautiful.
And it's kind of that perfect consistency of the lightweight, so it doesn't add that
crease. It doesn't cause creasing. Like I said, it just blends into your normal skin and doesn't create any added texture.
It's something that you can just always go back to, and it's going to work well.
Exactly.
So I really love this product as well. I've used it for a really, really long time, literally since we were young, because again, when you're using concealer every single day, you do not want to be spending a lot of money, especially through high school. So it's a really, really great product. Now, I like to use a little bit more of an expensive concealer these days. And this is the Dior Forever Concealer. It is $74, but it's my absolute favorite formula on the market. And in terms of color, I would really suggest not using something light. Even though everyone tells you to, use something that is your skin tone, because otherwise, again, you're going to get ashy. So I like to use something that is actually fairly warm underneath the eyes, just for my skin color in particular. And I like this because it doesn't create this stark difference in color on your face, which just draws the kind of wrong attention. So this particular concealer, I would say it's actually medium to full coverage. It is quite creamy, but I like only a little bit. I just apply a little bit in the center, so from the nose bridge outwards, and then I blend it out either with my fingers or with a dense
compact brush.
Yeah, because you just want to keep that coverage in certain places, and which is really, really great to do with a dense brush. If you use a beauty blender, you're going to really shear everything out, which actually looks beautiful and helps to pick up any like creasing. But I really like to get my bang for my buck with this product, and the beauty blender sucks it up.
Yeah, that's so fair. Yeah. You don't want to be like wasting your like expensive product.
Exactly. But it's a really beautiful concealer. If that's something you can afford and you know that you have problematic under eyes, it is so good. It never creases under my eyes. It lasts all day. And this is one I actually wear throughout my auditions as well, just because it's so reliable and creates such like a seamless finish.
Beautiful.
I guess just remember with your under eyes that everyone has different experiences. You know, there's all these little hacks you can do. If you have puffy under eyes, you can use cold spoons in the morning. You can use gua sha to kind of, you know, get rid of that lymphatic drainage. That's a really great option.
I feel like there's so much that goes into under eyes more than just covering it up with concealer and all that jazz. But we'd be speaking for an hour.
Exactly. So. Well, remember, drink a lot of water. Because water is really going to help with the under eyes, and I'm so bad at getting my water like intake in, but that's just like another little extra thing. We always say drink your water, but we kind of forget to do it. So it does actually make a big difference in your under eyes. But those are some of our favorite tips to, you know, have that seamless finish and combat any of those like issues. But remember, it's kind of something that you live with and that you have to come to terms with. So once I accepted that this is just my face, like, let's just work with it
Exactly.
now.
And I think that's like the message behind it is that like accept your natural beauty and then like learn how to enhance it in certain ways, but doesn't mean you don't love yourself.
That's
at the end of the day. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us today on Skinfluence. If you are interested in any of the products mentioned in today's episode, there are links available in the podcast description on your podcast app.
If you love what you hear, leave us a rating and a review.
And if you have any questions or want us to cover anything on the pod, reach out via our socials at Jessie Massoud
and at Jamie Jo, or send us an email at skinfluence@novapodcast.com.au.
Love you guys.
See you next time.